I can hear myself like really well.
I know, it's kind of weird, but it's kind of fun. It's
But
like
it's great. Yeah, I like it.
Okay, Mandy Goalen.
Hi.
Hi. How are you?
I'm good. Thanks for having me.
Oh my gosh, are you kidding me? I'm so excited that you came on.
Well, I'm like, Tim, you gave Reagan like an okay that I would do this. I am not, anyways, it'll be fun. I'm excited.
It's going to be so fun.
Yeah.
Are you kidding me? I wanted you on. The only reason I invited him. I was really to get to you. the real clean freak. Just kidding.
I'm the queen of the clean freak. Yeah.
So if people didn't listen to, so I'm going to drop Tim's first, and then yours is going to be the next week.
Okay.
So you guys are married, and you've been married for
16 years.
16. You just had your wedding anniversary too, didn't you?
We did. Yeah, in January.
Oh my gosh. Did you guys do anything special?
We did. We got to go spend our weekend in Salt Lake, and
fun.
Our kids are awesome and rock stars. They let us go and do some shopping and some dinner out, and he was actually here for our anniversary, which like 8 of the 16 he was traveling. So we were happy to be in town.
That's so
together.
Fun.
Yeah.
Anniversaries are always kind of tough because you like want to celebrate and you want to spend the time because it like reminds you to like spend the time.
Mm-hmm.
But then you like get it. Like our anniversary is the 23rd of November. So it's like
right in the thick of
right
holidays.
in the thick of like, so when we got married, we picked the Saturday before Thanksgiving so that we could have the wedding and then everybody could stay for Thanksgiving and it'd be whatever.
In town.
Just make it easier. If they had to travel once, then just do it all in one time.
Yeah.
But like the last couple years, like our anniversary always is like the day before, or I think this year, the year before it was like on Thanksgiving. So it always made like so tough.
Yeah.
So
like,
usually
let's celebrate it another time.
Yeah.
Let's do like the week before. We've done that before.
Yeah. So
Just
I'm like
spend time together.
Yeah. Quality good time.
Yeah.
But okay, so you are the busiest mom. 4 kids in cheer and dance.
Yeah, Boston is not, but yes, everyone else is in dance.
Yeah. And then you're coaching, aren't you?
Yeah, I coach at my daughter's studio.
Okay.
A couple classes a week, and then I do private classes with all of their friends who want some extra tumbling skills, and we try to do that on other days that I'm not working for Klean Freak. But our son is 6 and he just went into full-time kindergarten. So it freed up a lot of time. I'm in the office more, and it's helped me be able to kind of organize things a little bit easier.
Oh my gosh.
So
I'm just like envying your free time a little.
I'm
just in the beginning of it. So.
Yes. Yeah, but I mean, it's a lot. I was never I worked before I had babies, but once I had our oldest, Mikkel, Tim was like, and you're home. And I'm like, oh, thank you. Because I wanted to be there.
Yeah.
But you get antsy a little bit, and it's like, oh, I didn't even get ready today because I've just been taking care of the kids.
Yeah.
It's like, what can I do for myself?
Yeah.
So now that, when we started this business, Boston was a baby, and we were in the thick of diapers, and he's talked about that. But getting a little bit more involved in the company and taking on more responsibilities took up a lot more time. So we had a nanny when he was in preschool, and that was so helpful. And then once he started going to school full time, I was like, and we're in the office more.
Yeah.
And it's been awesome.
So what are some of your tasks for Klean Freak? Because I know you're probably like the backbone. If he's traveling it, there's got to be some backbone back there. It's you. But what is like your main task that you're doing?
So I do, I'm kind of a jack of all trades, but I am over all of our ambassadors and social media.
Okay.
So I do all of our socials, and then marketing, any of the marketing that comes through. That's email marketing.
Which one was that? Technical difficulty. He's hired.
Did
hired.
you get it? We're good. Okay. So socials and then marketing. So marketing, any of the people that want like donations to their events or anything like that.
Mm-hmm.
And then other marketing, like all of what we're doing for sales and ad spend and all of that. And then customer service and design. So I did get to design all of the fun little things and we have a few designers that we outsource to, and then Tim and I we like fine tune all of the designs and
yeah.
So
did you have a background in that from college, or you kind of just been learning as?
No, so I have a background in human development and family studies. That's what I graduated in.
Okay, so you were going to be like a teacher or counselor?
I cheered in college, and I went for my generals first, and then I went to my counselor there, and I was like, what's the fastest way to get out? And she's like, right here. I'm like, done. Let's do it. To be completely frank, I was like, I just want to be done.
Did you have like a career path, or you're like, I just wanted to cheer?
I just wanted to be a mom. Honestly, I wanted to be a mom. I was working for my parents at the time, and I think Tim talked a little bit about them, but they have started their own embroidery and screen printing sticker business. So I worked for them since I was 14, up until I went into labor with our first baby. So we learned how to design there. So we used Adobe Illustrator there. So we never were trained in it or took classes on it. My brother and sister have both done that, but I wasn't. I didn't. I was just like, we were worker bees. We just pushed and grind and get it done. But no, that's kind of how I grew up, is you just make it happen. If you're not trained in it, you figure out how to get it done.
Oh my gosh, I don't know what's going on.
Is it doing it again?
Sorry. All right. My gosh, I've never struggled so much. I'm so sorry, guys.
It's fine. It's no big deal.
We're back.
Yeah.
So what did you come full time with Klean Freak in the beginning, or when did you start kind of getting more into the mix?
So we've always kind of both been in. It was very much his baby. It was his idea. But when he came to me one night, he was like, I got an idea, and it's wipes. And I was like, okay, let's go. Let's do it. Because I grew up with a dad who had his own computer business, and it was thriving. And then my mom, I played basketball in 9th grade, and we went to get our sweatshirts done from her sister's neighbor, and she had an embroidery machine, and my mom was like, I can do this. So we got 1 embroidery machine, and then we got 3, and then we had 7, and now they have 24 commercial embroidery machines. So watching her grow that, I was like, I can do anything. Yeah. So when he came to me, that was actually one of the things that I was most attracted to him about when we were dating, was his drive. And he says that he doesn't know when he was like going to be the entrepreneur, when he knew he was going to be an entrepreneur, but I could see it when we were dating. I'm like, he's got drive that not many men have. Yeah. And that's going to take him far. And I was infatuated with that personality and that aspect of him. And so when he came to me with that idea, I was like, okay, if anybody can do it, you can. And so I'm all in, let's go. And because I had that background, I felt like I was a little bit more willing to take the risk of, if we're living in a shack, that's what we're doing. Yeah. Even though we have a great house, but if that's what it took, like that's what we're willing to grind and put in the work. So I think,
that's so fun. Okay. So, he kind of said that he met you through your dad. When did you find out about him?
Oh, that night. So I was at school when my dad was talking to him. I was in college. It was my last year of college.
Oh, okay.
And so I came home, and my dad was like, I met this cute guy. And I was like, okay. And he's
You're like, for you or for me?
Yeah. No, but I mean, my dad he definitely says what he wants. So he was like, he's a cute guy. And I had just broken up with the dude a couple weeks ago. And that's a funny story in itself, but we won't go.
What?
It was Tim's cousin.
You were dating his cousin?
And I broke it off wrong. I told him, I was like, I just need to take a break. And I don't think he took it as like I was fully done. And so it was my bad. I totally did it wrong and didn't make it clear. And so when I went out with Tim called him for when we went on our second date. And he's like, hey, can I take this girl out? And he was like, yeah. So oh my gosh, little family drama with that. But yes, my dad, that night.
At least it was cousins, not brothers.
Exactly. Yes. we were, and they weren't super close, but
you're also in Utah. So I feel like
it's very, very valid.
Not to everybody kind of small town vibes, you know?
Oh, yeah. But But yeah, Facebook was just barely a thing. Like MySpace was a thing. This was like 2008. So Facebook was just barely a thing. So, but he had a Facebook profile. So we checked him out and my dad was like, he's good looking. I'm like, well, show me a picture. So we stalked him on Facebook and I was like, yeah, he's cute. And he's like, well, I told him that he should take you out. And I was like, oh, thanks, Dad. So I thought he was cute and we had to drop off the second half of the stickers. So I volunteered to go drop them off.
Yeah, why not?
And I went and dropped him off and he didn't really give me the time of day. So I went crying back to my dad and I was like, he doesn't think I'm cute.
Were you playing hard? Was he playing hard to get or was he just?
It was a little bit of a sticky situation.
Oh, okay.
So, but then he texted me later and he was like, hey, I'm busy for a couple weeks. I had a girlfriend at the time. He had a girlfriend?
Oh, no. Okay, so there's
he had a girlfriend, but she was planning to leave. And so he waited until she was gone and he broke it off with her because he's like, if you leave, I'm going to start dating other people. So he took me out the next day after she left and we went on a lunch date because Tim doesn't believe in like full dinner dates until you know for sure that you want to spend more time with them, right? Lunch dates, genius.
So I like the lunch date idea.
It's a good idea. So we went to Cafe Rio and I went home and I told my dad, I was like, hey Dad, I think I found my husband. And he was like, no, you didn't. I did. And I was like, you're right. You did. So yeah, he definitely met my dad first and my dad's awesome.
So you knew after the lunch date then?
Oh yeah. We were engaged 8 weeks later.
Oh my gosh.
Yeah. I had dated a lot of people. He had dated a lot of people. I knew exactly what I was looking for.
Yeah.
And he checked all the boxes.
I think you do just like get to that point where you're just like, where are you at? You can tell pretty easy. Yeah. Even by the first date.
Yeah.
You're like,
I'm not vibing. It's okay.
Not vibing.
And that's okay.
Yeah.
But
so how have you guys like kept your spark alive after 16 years? Because you guys are still like the cutest and just.
We fight hard and we love hard. So
that is good advice. Yes.
You have to be able to communicate with each other. Nobody walks on anybody. And it's you and your partner and your equals. He doesn't own me. I don't own him. Who wears the pants in the relationship? We both do.
Yeah.
It's a two-way street and the communication is hard sometimes, but it's essential.
Yeah. Yeah. So how is it living and loving your business partner?
That is something that I have had to learn. Because
it's not like you can separate like church and state. It's not like you can go home to your husband and complain about your coworker. Like,
no.
And he is your coworker.
Yeah. And that was honestly, the first 2 years, it was really hard. I'll be honest, because I'm a stubborn woman. I'm a very stubborn person. I don't want somebody telling me they don't like what I do. So you tell me I'm doing it wrong. I'm going to figure out why. And I'm going to train them to do it my way. Right. Yeah. No, not really. But when he worked with his other company and I worked with my parents, we kind of did a few things together and we were the middle people and it kind of put like us battling each other. So I was worried about that a little bit when we started this, but like when I started designing and doing a couple of things and he didn't like it, I took it as a personal attack. And so I had to reframe my mindset and he was very good at helping me learn how to do that. He's like, I am not saying that you're not good at what you do. I'm just saying we need to find something else. And we're both very visual people. And so we try to picture what the other person is looking for. So I would try to figure out what design he was looking for and I would do what my mind said. And he'd come in and he'd say something completely different. So I've just had to learn to get all the details up front. And if he doesn't love it, that's okay. Yeah. It's fine. I can't take it as a personal attack because it's not on me. It's just a matter of like what he wants. He's got a vision. And it's been fun to try to figure out how we best work together. And there's times where we still butt heads, but I think that's everybody in business, not just partners.
Yeah.
So it's been a learning curve, but we've come a long way.
So you designed all the packaging. We helped design it.
Yeah. So we had a couple of people. We originally we had somebody else design the original packaging, which was white top and then black on the bottom. In 2021, we redesigned 2020, when COVID hit, we were like, let's redo the packaging. And we were going to
Yeah.
stay black and white, but we pushed to Tim. That was an argument. We pushed and I was like, we have to do the color. So the scent that it is, we have a specified color for it.
What was the art? Sorry, not to.
So either black and white or color and black.
Okay.
So it was either we're going to stay black and white, we were going to stay in the black panda zone, you know what I mean? The black and white, or we were going to go full color.
Depending on and it didn't matter if it was a scented or not. It was just going, okay.
That was going to differentiate the packaging and the color and the scent.
Yes.
So we went that route. And so I mean, we edited a little bit. So we had somebody design it up, and redesign it. And then we went in and did all the corks. But recently I've been doing more of the designing. Yeah.
What's your favorite one that you've done?
I love the outer packaging of the colors.
Of this one?
Yeah, but the full colors. I feel like that.
This one?
Nope, the peppermint.
Oh,
that one.
Okay. So you guys have like a mixed bundle, and then
Yes.
every color has like a different packaging.
Yep, and we redesigned that so that it was a little bit more ready for the shelves. So you had a 3-second sale.
Okay.
So it was like you could see it on the shelf and you could know exactly what it was. You could know the scent. You could know how many there were in there.
Yeah.
You could get the gist of the product within 3 seconds.
Yeah.
So we had a lot of brainstorming sessions where we were like, okay, we need to revamp this.
Yeah.
And so we took the base of what we got and then we kind of stripped it down and redid it all. But that's just all coming from Tim's brain and I just make it come to life. It's a good group effort.
What's your favorite part of working that you get to do for Klean Freak?
Oh, I love customer service, even though some people are really hard to work with.
I was going to say either people love it or they hate it.
Yeah, and it's hard because you have people that come on real strong sometimes. But I always say kill them with kindness.
Yeah.
Because that's what we're there for. We're there to be their customer service. We're there to make sure they are happy. And there are some people that you won't because that's just who they are. But seeing their attitude change from the beginning of the conversation to the end is really fun for me. But no, I love the design aspect and the product development.
So are you in the warehouse a lot, like while the kids are at school? And then you're pretty busy mommy.
Yeah. So our warehouse is separate from our office.
Okay.
We just moved to a new warehouse where somebody's fulfilling for us. Because our awesome warehouse gal, she's moving in with her boyfriend in a different state. So we're sad to have her leave because she's been incredible. But
it's always hard when you lose people who are like
great.
Yeah.
Yeah.
Great. It's really hard to find like good people.
Yes. Who like to work with you too, because we can be a lot sometimes. Sometimes we are all over the place. Sometimes we're organized. Sometimes we're all over the place.
Yeah.
So you get the jack of all trades with us. But I am in our office about 4 days a week. I try to stay home one day so I can make sure everything stays put. But I'm there from after I drop off the kids at like 8:45. I get in there by 9 and I'm there till about 3 because that's when chaos begins. And I get home and I make sure half of like all 3 of my girls have to be at dance 2 to 3 days a week, and they're all different times. So I'm up at the studio, whether I'm coaching or getting my girls there or taking carpool up or somebody's picking them up. We're up there 3 to 4 times a day.
Yeah.
So by 3 o'clock, if I haven't left the office to go home and get their after school snacks and their dance bag packed, it's a little bit of a scramble. So we try to make sure that we've got everything prepped and ready so that it's not too crazy.
So for the new moms or any moms out there, like how are you balancing it all? How are you keeping track? Because we were literally just talking upstairs about just the laundry in itself.
Yeah.
Like, how are you balancing?
You have to give yourself a lot of grace because we're asked to do a lot. I mean, I saw a reel on Instagram that's like, we're supposed to look good. We're supposed to clean. We're supposed to have the food ready. We're supposed to work. We're supposed to make sure the kids' schedules are all good. We're supposed to make sure the teacher has their gift. And there's just so many aspects to being a mom that a lot of men are awesome, but a lot of men don't understand the full aspect of it. Like the scheduling. It's funny. Tim, I have a schedule. Two of my older two daughters have a phone. And so they have a calendar. We have a family calendar that has everybody's stuff on it. So
like
Scotty,
a Google calendar or
it's
like
a Google
spreadsheet?
calendar.
Okay.
So Scotty, I put an S in front of hers, and she has dance from 4 to 6 this day. So everybody sees that. My oldest is our second mom. She's great. She makes sure that everybody has their crap together if mom hasn't explained it.
Yeah.
So my older two, they see that calendar. And it's funny, like about a month ago, Tim had booked something, and I was like, well, I can't do that. And he's like, well, it's a date night. I already paid for it. And I was like, oh, okay. So did you check my calendar? And he's like, oh, I can't have that calendar on my calendar. And I was like, okay. So he's like, there's too much stuff on there. And I was like, all right, well, you got to at least ask me beforehand because I can't make that work.
Yeah.
So my calendar is my life. And I have a paper calendar at home that I transfer everything to. And I have a marker board calendar that I transfer everything to. So everybody knows where everybody is at all times. Because it does get chaotic. It gets really chaotic. And laundry, it will pile up. Whether you want to do one load a day or not, it's going to pile up. And I have to record myself in like a time lapse. I posted it up the other day because I was like, mom life. I had 7 loads of laundry that had piled up over 2 weeks.
I think I saw that. Was it like on your couch or on your bed or something? And it was just like a mountain. And I was like,
it was a mountain.
I feel like that.
Yes.
Right now.
And then you have a whole sock bucket, and the whole dump sock bucket was 10 minutes. And I'm like, you have to give yourself grace, but you also have to find time to make sure you plan it out if it's a priority to you, you'll get it done.
Yeah.
I have been reading this new book, and it's by Mel Robbins. I don't know if you've heard it. It's called The Let Them Theory. But
but I've heard her talk about it. I think.
So,
but I didn't know she had a book.
In the very beginning of in her prologue of this book, she talks about another book that she's written, to where she was in a slump of not having motivation, feeling overwhelmed, not feeling like she knows what she's doing with her career. And she's laying in bed and she didn't want to get up and tackle the day and all the tasks of the day. And I think we all get there, especially in the January blues of Utah winters.
Or not winter.
I know.
What is going on right now?
I know. So, but she said, like a NASA rocket, I'm going to blast out of my bed in 5, 4, 3, 2, 1. And she calls it her 5, 4, 3, 2, 1 or 5-second rule. And I don't know if you've heard that, but yes. It's honestly a game changer. But if you have a thought in your mind and you go for it and you say, I'm going to do this, you have to commit to yourself. If you don't commit to yourself, you're never going to show up for yourself. Yeah. And I think that's one of the most important things for a mom, a working mom, is you have to prioritize your time so that you can then be there for your kids.
Yeah.
Because if you're worn out, you're not going to have any space for your kids either.
Yeah. No, I agree with that. I think that's like I had a conversation with Austin about like why I need to go to Pilates. And like I just need like you can't pour from an empty cup. Like I need to go to Pilates because I need to like work out. I just need an hour to just recoup, reset, or go for a walk or just go for a little 5-minute drive where I can just like think for a second. But yeah, you definitely can't pour from an empty cup.
No, you can't. And I've been there a lot where you're overwhelmed with everything and you haven't put time in for yourself, and you have to put time in for yourself. And a lot of people think that's selfish, but honestly, it's the most selfless thing that you can do is make sure that you're doing what you need for yourself so that you could be present for your family.
Yeah. Yeah.
But I don't know. It's a definite learning curve with being a mom of 4 and working business. And we have a lot that we could do better at, but we got to give ourselves some grace.
Yeah.
Yeah.
Was 4 kids always your number?
We thought 4 or 5. Tim, okay. I come from a family of 4. So of course we came from 2 boys and 2 girls. So I was like, I'm going to have 2 boys and 2 girls.
Yeah.
And Tim came from a family of 6. He had 4 girls and then a boy. So his mom was like, all right, well, we got our boy. His dad was like, we got our boy. And his mom's like, nope, there's another one. And then comes Tim. And I was like, thank you for going with that. But yeah, we were always thinking 4 or 5. But when we were when we got pregnant with our third, she was after a late miscarriage, and that was really hard. But I felt like she was a boy. I felt like she was a boy. We went to the ultrasound and we saw that it was a girl, and I just sobbed. I was like, we're supposed to have 2 boys and 2 girls. And that miscarriage that I had at 10 weeks, honestly, it was my second boy. He's up in heaven. We get to raise him later. But I always thought we were going to have 2 boys. So he's our 5th baby.
Okay.
Yeah. But I literally sobbed when Scotty was a girl. It's like, babe, what happened? And the older 2 were like, another girl. But then we took all of them to the ultrasound with our 4th. And it was a boy. And Tim was just beaming with pride when that visual came up, and the girls were screaming. They were so excited because they wanted a little brother, and he is a little spoiled, rotten turd. No, he's the cutest and sweetest, and he's got 3 extra moms who all want to boss him around.
Oh,
so
that's so fun. He's the cutest little kid. He looks exactly like Tim.
He's his dad's twin.
He's a twin.
In attitude, personality, all the things, and looks. He really is his like copy paste.
I love it.
So
let's take it on a little farther back.
Okay.
You did cheer at the U.
I did.
How was that?
Such a wild ride. It was so much fun.
Did you do cheer when you were younger, or dance when you were younger? Or how did you get to be a college cheerleader?
So me and my sister were always involved in dance and sports. So my mom was always our coach in sports. We played basketball, soccer, and softball. And we did that in their seasons, but then we danced year round. And dance was a little bit different back then. We were very heavily involved, but it was like 1-2 days a week. It wasn't like 5 or 6 days a week like it is now.
It's really intense. I didn't learn that until I met Austin's family, because they're super dancers, and it's a different world.
It is. And so we went to competitions, and we were fully into dance competitions. Well, 9th grade year, I tried out for the basketball team because the junior high had a basketball team, and my mom coached. And so I got to be on the basketball team with all of my fun girlfriends, and that was such a fun year. So my sophomore year, I tried out for the basketball team at the high school, and I didn't make it. I got cut, and that sucked. I got cut there. I also tried out for the softball team, and I didn't make that. And I was like, okay, well, I've done comp softball. I've done school basketball. Like, why didn't I make these teams? Like, that was really defeating.
Yeah.
But it pointed me in a direction of, well, I have a dance background and I am a bubbly personality. So I'm going to try out for cheerleader. So I tried out for cheerleader, and I absolutely loved it. And I did that my sophomore, junior, and senior year. And my senior year, my little sister was a sophomore. So we got to do that together.
Oh, that's so fun.
It was really fun. But then college came around, and I was like, all right, well, we grew up BYU family. My parents both graduated from there, so I wanted to try out for BYU. But I'm not like the smartest cookie in the jar. So, I mean, I got good grades, but testing was not my jam. So I was like, there's no way I can get into BYU.
It's very hard to get into that school.
It is.
Very hard. I don't think people like realize how hard it is to get in there.
Yeah, and I think it's just because there's so many people that want to go, and so they had to make it like a high level. But I wouldn't have made it into the school. I would have had to get permission. Anyways, but I made their alternate team, and then tried out for UVU, which was UVSC at the time. It wasn't a university.
UVSC?
It was just a community college.
Okay.
And I made their team, but then I was like, I could go to the U. I know the coach up there. She owns one of the cheer gyms in Draper that I had gone to for cheer. So I went up there and I tried out there, and I absolutely loved the girls. And I knew the coach, and she was like, "You're a rock star. We're gonna put you on this varsity team." And I was like, "Sweet." So I ended up going to the U. And I loved it. And I still have great friends from there to this day.
So did you learn to do all the tumbling in high school, or did you learn it through college? Because you didn't start cheer till later.
Yeah.
Right?
So me and my sister, well, my dad was a wrestler in high school, and he's a very muscular, like just guy.
Yeah.
So we would honestly, he taught us how to tumble in our soccer cleats after soccer games.
I love it.
So he would be like, "Oh yeah, we could just try this flip," and we'd like be doing stuff. And I remember going down to St. George to my grandma's house, and she had a sloped backyard, so we would practice our back handsprings down, and we would do tumbling in our dance classes. And it wasn't as involved as tumbling is now in dance, but it was still involved. So we would do that. We learned a little bit there, but then we would do camps in high school, and we tumbled there, and we would stunt there. But girl stunting compared to guy stunting is completely different. And you partner stunted in college. So, which is guy stunting. But yeah, it was a definite learning curve in the stunting world. And I was not as good as I got to be when I was starting out in college. But I had a couple of really good partners that helped me develop those skills and get better. So
fun.
Yeah.
So after college, did you keep doing it on the side for fun, or is that when you transitioned to be a mom?
So I did transition to be a mom, but my cheer coach, my first year at the U, so she owned a studio a cheer gym down in Draper, and her daughter was wanting to open up a location in Farmington.
Okay.
Oh, well, it was North Salt Lake at the time. And so I got in touch with her and her daughter, and I was like, I'd love to help you start this up here. And so I helped coach with her as they were starting this, and then they moved to a bigger gym, and I moved with them. But once I got pregnant with Boston, and that was, I worked there for probably 8 years. And I loved working with the girls.
And you would teach and coach.
Yep. So it was an all-star cheer gym. And so we would go to competitions in California, and they would go to Florida, and I would only pick and choose because I had littles. So I wasn't as involved, but I was still one of their coaches and tumbling coaches and stunting. And so, yeah, I tried to stay involved. But once I got pregnant with Boston, I was like, I feel like I'm coming up and I am yelling at my kids at home. And then I come up here and I yell at girls here. And I'm like, this is not good for anyone.
Yeah.
So I decided to stop when I got pregnant with Boston. And I just went full-time mom mode. And that's when we were starting Klean Freak. When he came to me with the idea, and I was like, okay. So it was a good couple-year transition of not doing that. And then my girls' dance studio, I was like, well, dance is a lot. Can I come and help coach? I have this background, and so she pays me, but it goes straight to my dance bill. And so that's where I got started about 2-3 years ago. I started working for the dance studio. And coaching tumbling classes there.
But I'm sure it helps like offset some of the cost.
Yeah, it definitely does.
And it gets you out and hangs out with the kids.
And I love working with the girls and watching them become better dancers and tumblers. So it's fun.
What's your favorite thing about cheer or dance or cheer?
I miss being thrown in the air.
Okay.
I loved getting thrown in the air and doing a couple backflips and then getting caught. It was like so exhilarating. I loved it.
That's so
doing cool tricks in the air and then woohoo! Like it was so fun. Let's do it again.
Yeah, that's not I don't know if it's my height or like what it is, but that just was never my body. Yeah. I could never do the flips or do anything. Even when we go on a trampoline, I can't. Especially now after having a baby, I will not even attempt it.
Nope, don't do it.
Don't do it. I can't even jump. Like even in the Pilates class, they do jumping jacks. I'm like, still not ready.
No.
Still not ready.
No, it's never the same after kids.
No, it's not.
The pelvic floor just isn't as sturdy.
Yeah. Oh my gosh.
But,
that is so fun.
Yeah, it's fun.
So what's your favorite part about being a mom? Or what's your favorite phrase or phase? Because you have anywhere from, well, right now you have 6 to 13.
Yeah.
So what's your favorite age?
Oh man, that's a hard one because I love them all, but it's definitely different. So the baby phase is so fun because you get to see them learn, but it is also so hard because you're going through a hormonal imbalance and not feeling like yourself. So I feel like that is one of the hardest because you're not feeling like yourself for 10 years if you're having multiple kids, right? But you find little things in and out in between. So I would always try to anyways, that was really hard. It's a different kind of hard when they're older because I've got 2 older girls that are in like the hormonal stage of periods and all that jazz.
Transitioning
Junior
to be
high.
a woman. Yeah.
Yeah. It's a real fun party trying to figure out how to teach them not only how to be a good person, but to accept other people for who they are and not let other people determine their attitude.
Yeah.
So that has been hard. I don't know. I love my older girls right now because they're my best friends.
Yeah.
They really are. But I love my son right now because he is the cutest little turd ever. Like he
little turd.
Literally, when Tim was out of town last week, they rotate sleeping in Dad's spot. And so I usually have a hair tie on my wrist, and Boston was laying by me, and he looked at me and he goes, "Mom, can I wear this?" And he pointed to my hair tie, and I was like, "Yeah, buddy." And he put it on, and he fell right asleep. And I was like, "Oh, you're such a sweetheart." It melted my heart, and it made me realize like he's our last one. And I am not going to get this very much. He's not going to want to come and snuggle with me. He's not going to try to like pretend to lick me instead of kiss me. And like,
yeah,
all the little things that he does right now are so fun because he's learning so much. I love that phase.
Is he in sports or anything?
He is. He has been in the past. He's been in baseball.
Okay.
But we're making him play up a grade for football. He's starting flag football.
Okay.
And he's doing soccer in the spring too. So.
Oh my gosh, that's so many activities.
Oh, yeah. Well, and my girls want to cheer in junior high on top of dance. And I'm like, I don't think I can physically do it.
That's a lot.
It's a lot. And I'm like, I just don't think that I can be in 4 places at the same time.
Yeah.
So we're having to pick and choose already. And that's hard. That's hard to make a decision when you're 11 and 13 on what you actually want to do and pursue.
Yeah. Right. You don't even know where you want to do.
No. And it's going to change in a year.
Yeah.
So, yeah. I love all of them. Does that's not fair, is it?
No, it is fair. It's because they're so different. Like you can't compare. Like he's turning 1 this month, which is
a huge milestone.
Huge milestone.
Yeah.
But then I like looked back at pictures like a year ago, and I was big pregnant. I was like so big. But then it's his birth month, so now his little pictures are coming. I'm like, he was so little, and like just. Yeah, looking back at every phase. Yeah. My goodness. Looking back at every phase, like you do love them, but then there are times when you're like, Kate, this is challenge. Like, I don't know. Right now we're in that spot where everybody's like, is he walking? And he's getting really close to walking, and Austin's kind of teaching him. And like, though I'm like excited, I'm like, no, I just kind of shove him down when Austin turns his head because I'm like, you're not supposed to walk
a little bit longer.
I know. I'm like, I'm excited for the phase because that means like he can go play or we can go outside or we can go for walks. And I'm excited for that. But I'm also like, I'm not ready.
Yeah.
Push him down a little bit. Like just sit out for a little bit longer.
Going through different phases is hard because it's like, oh, he's never going to be in that phase anymore.
Yeah.
And you can look back at pictures, but he will never be that little again. And it is heartbreaking. Like my girls are obsessed with watching old videos. Just take lots of videos.
Yeah.
Take lots of videos.
Oh, I'm going to show you my scrapbook here in a minute. You're going to be like, okay, yes, take the pictures, but you are a little crazy.
No, you're not. I love it. That's why I post on social media because I have my chat book connected. And so I have about 80 chat books right now.
Oh my gosh.
And they are my journals. And my kids look at them all the time. And Tim has always made fun of me. He's like, you post way too many pictures. And I was like, I don't care. If people don't like it, they don't have to follow me.
But okay. But honestly, when I don't post people are like, why are you not updating us?
I know.
Because I have
my grandma.
Yeah. And that's how like social media does have like a con to it. But it's also so beneficial to just like keep up with people's lives.
Yeah. Keep people connected.
Yes. And it's like instead of me having to send a baby picture to 80 people, I just put it on the Instagram and then they can like it. They can see it. They can see it. Yep. It's so much easier.
Yep. My grandma's like, I love when you post because then I know what's going on. She's so cute and 90 and I just love her so much.
Well, and especially when you like live such a busy life. It's hard to update to remember there's so much you probably don't even post.
Well, and then my mother-in-law calls me. She's like, "You didn't tell me about this." And I was like, "I'm so sorry. I didn't know.
Didn't even think about it.
I didn't think about it.
I was worried about the 7 loads of laundry.
Exactly. One day at a time."
So do you have an oh shit goal this year?
Ugh. I have not thought of it yet. My shit goal was
What was it last year?
The Grand Canyon.
Yes, I remember you told me about that. Okay, so tell me a little bit about that trip.
It was awesome. So
did you hike the whole thing?
We did rim to rim. We started in South Kaibab.
Okay.
And we went all the way up to the North Trail. So my parents came with us. And
how long is that?
It was an 11-hour hike.
11-hour hike.
Yeah. We planned for 12 to 16 hours. So we hiked Timpanogos about 2 weeks before that.
Okay.
Which is, how long did that one take us? Like 8 hours, probably.
Okay.
6 to 8 hours. I don't even remember. But it was a good trainer for it. But I had girlfriends that had gone a couple years before. And I was like, I really want to do that. And because I wasn't able to go.
Yeah.
And so I was like, I got to do this and I got to find somebody to do it with me. And I couldn't find anybody to do it with me. And Tim was like, well, I'll do it with you.
Oh, my Lord. Hold on. I'm going to finish this. At the end of the day, it's just the podcast.
Yeah.
As long as this was recording, we're good. Okay.
So Tim was like, I will come and I'll do it with you. And I'm like, you've already done your oh shit goal for the year. And he's like, that's okay. I'll come and I'll do it with you. Cause I didn't want to do it by myself.
Yeah. And your guys' oh shits are like very physical.
Well, and that's the point. It has to be something that you have to train for. It can't just be something you can go and do.
Got it.
So you have to put in the work so that it makes it a little bit easier. Right?
That makes more sense. You didn't explain that, Tim. This is why we had Mandy on.
The detail. I like details.
I love it.
So I mean, it's a 4-hour drive out and around the south end, and you have to go out and around the Grand Canyon and then back in to the north side. So we went and slept at the south side.
Okay.
And then my dad dropped us off at the trailhead, and then went back and slept for a couple hours, drove around while we were hiking. And so you're going straight down 5,000-6,000 feet of decline, of mountain. And then you go across the river in between the Grand Canyon, then you hike up along some of the rivers coming down. So it was the most beautiful hike I had ever done. And it was grueling. Tim got stuck by a cactus and on our lunch break. And
no way.
Yes. But we had our Klean Freak to pull him out, you know.
Oh, okay.
It was great. But it was
I could have been a fly on the
awesome.
wall.
It was so much. It was so funny. We wanted to kind of be by ourselves because there were other people on the trail, and we had our sandwiches, and then he's like, all right, let's go. We get our backpacks back on, and he just steps and he goes right into a cactus.
Wait, where did it hit you?
On his shin, on his calf, But it wasn't like one of the needles. It was like the little furry ones. And so there were tiny little ones in there. And when he was trying to get them out, he got one stuck in his thumb, and it was in there for like a month. Yeah.
Oh my gosh.
But anyways, we went all the way back up, and then you go back up that same vert. I mean, it's on the other side, but you're still going up like 5,000 or 6,000 feet.
Yeah.
And that is where the sun beat down on us, because we started at 4 a.m. in the morning, 5 a.m. in the morning. It was 4.
So the sun is right there then.
Yeah. So we found a river to cold plunge in because it was hot and sweaty, but we went all the way up to the top, and we were expecting to finish. Our goal was to finish by 12 or 13 hours. And we made it in 11 and a half. It was so cool.
So did you train for it then?
We did. Yeah.
Okay. You said you went to Temp, but did you do
We did Temp. We did Lake Blanche, which has a good vertical, 7 miles or so. We tried to do one of my favorites, Alta Lakes Loop. It's like an 8-mile one.
Okay.
It's in Brighton area.
So are you guys big hikers then?
I mean, as of late, yeah. COVID, I had some girlfriends that were really into it, and So I started getting into it, and I actually loved the way I felt when I was up there. I'm like, I love the mountains.
Yeah.
And I love a good sweat, and getting both of those, it just made me so happy. And I felt like it was exhilarating for me because I climbed up this mountain and I got to walk down, and I was so proud of myself because I did something hard.
Yeah.
But I think it's important for us to realize like we can do hard things because I think we find ourselves in slumps of, oh, that's going to be so hard. I can't do that. You can do it. You can do anything.
Yeah.
You can put anything you put your mind to. So I loved the oh shit goal. I don't know what mine is this year. We are still figuring that out. Yeah. I do want to have a soup pie one year, but that is like a lottery.
Okay. I'm so mad. And maybe if I say this and I broadcast it, someone will contact me. We bought tickets for that.
Yeah.
And COVID hit the month before we were supposed to go.
No.
And I was so sad.
Yeah.
And so we held on to tickets because they're like, hey, what we're going to do is we're closing down the park.
Yeah.
But when we open it back up, the people who had the tickets get like first, right?
Yeah.
They didn't open it up for like 3 years. And then by that time, we couldn't get into contact with anybody to go. And like literally just ghosted. And then I even tried to reach out and be like, well, at least can we get our money back or something?
Yeah.
Still nothing. Like,
lame.
I know. And so I don't know if it took them a while to just kind of revamp back.
Oh, for sure.
But yeah, we never got to go, but we paid for the slots.
No.
And then I think I think I reached out. It must have been 2 years ago because I reached out and I was like, hey, like, I know we get another chance, but now I'm pregnant. Like, there's no way that I could go.
Yeah.
And I still didn't get anything back.
Oh, dang it. That's
so if
such a
anybody
bummer.
has a contact, it's too funny.
Yes.
But I've only heard really good things about it.
I've heard it's beautiful. So, and I've never ever backpacked like an overnighter, carried your tent or anything. And so that is a goal of mine, is to do that sometime.
I haven't done that either, but I do hear it's harder to get the permits.
For sure. Yeah.
Heard it's getting really hard. And I heard, I don't know, are you guys like really into like the national park permits or anything?
Mm-mm.
I heard there was like more parks getting more permits.
Oh,
so I heard
really?
it was going to get harder. I don't know if that's true or not, but I don't really understand that side.
No, I haven't looked into it too much to know more about it, but that is on the bucket list.
The bucket
someday.
Well, it's on my bucket list. I don't know if I'll ever get to go. They're gonna be like, oh yeah, you're that one who
has emailed us like 18 times.
Yeah. You're
you told me that we could do this and I haven't gotten it.
Yeah. So fun. Okay.
Yeah.
So we got to figure out your oh shit goal.
We'll figure it out. I'll let you know when I do. Shoot you a text.
I love it. Is there anything else that you want to share or talk about?
Oh,
anything back to Klean Freak? Any crazy fun stories? Any events that you got to go to that were your favorite? Because you get to go on a couple of them.
I get to go on a couple of them. Me and Tim got to go to Germany when we were going over there with World Trade Center. Anyways, with a company that we've worked with, and we didn't go over with them though. Anyways, we got to go over there, and we took the opportunity to go and tour Austria also. So we got to go up to the Alps, and we stayed in a little hotel that was right in the middle of the mountains. That was so pretty.
Oh, that's so fun.
So, but one of my favorite shows, that Surf Expo, the very first one, that was a vibe for sure. And I loved going back to that. That was one that I would do every year. This is the only year that we haven't done it since then.
What, you just like the vibe, or do you think it was special because it was your first one?
Probably a little bit of both.
Yeah.
It's a fun surfer vibe where it's, and we made good friends that continue to go back.
Yeah.
But yeah, like Tim was saying in the camaraderie that you feel within the vendors is really fun. And it makes you want to be there. But then also seeing the customers from start to finish, where it's like, okay, you find out what they're in, and then you can apply the wipe to what they're doing. Like all of the women, I'm like, dude, I use this after all the things. So I use it for my face because I have super sensitive skin, and I can't use a makeup remover wipe.
Yeah.
Because I'll break out or face wash. So I use a Klean Freak wipe on my face, and I have for almost 4 years now.
Yeah, and your skin is glowing. I
Yeah,
was going to ask you for your skincare routine.
No, but it's
Linked in
I
bio.
literally use the peppermint wipes. I literally use the peppermint wipes. I keep the jug in my bathroom.
Oh, I
And
just
not
need
only-
to throw those in my Pilates bag.
Yeah.
Probably clean my makeup.
No, but they're great for like intimacy and all that gross cleanup, and so yeah.
I love you.
So many
Subtle.
things. But yeah, the peppermint is my favorite body wipe, and the spearmint, even though Tim says it makes you feel like, oh, it makes you whistle. That's my favorite flusher because it does. You're like, oh, I can do anything. It makes you feel
so
fresh
hard.
and clean.
I just threw my headphones. I don't know. It was like, oh my gosh, it makes you whistle. If you guys don't trademark that,
We really need to.
you really need to. The commercials that you could do with the
Oh yeah,
make it.
it'll make you whistle.
I
You'll be
freaking love it.
whistling a different tune. No, but
Oh, I
that is
love it.
really fun to see the customers where it's like, oh, you're a mom. Here's what I use them for.
Yeah.
Throw them in my girls' dance bag. Throw them in my competition bag for when they have to change their makeup for the next routine or anything like that. So it's fun to see what they're into. Oh, you like to golf. Oh, you like to be on an ATV. So it's so versatile that you can throw it into everybody's life. Honestly,
It really is a good product, and I'm not getting paid to say that. Like
Well, thank you.
We have so many, and Austin, he really loves the flushers.
Mhm.
Those are his favorite. I think I like the more of the body wipe because I
Yeah.
like to clean up or just wipe your hands down before you eat,
Uh-huh.
like in the middle of an event or
Mhm. Yeah, when you're
even
camping.
yeah, spill some coffee in your car. And you have to
Done that on the airplane.
Yeah. Oh my
Yeah.
gosh.
Yeah.
Yeah. So I have them in, I think, like every bag. I just have them like stashed,
Yeah.
almost like loose cash.
Oh yeah.
But no, he loves the flushers.
Well,
so
he's gonna love the new product that we're developing. So
he will.
Yeah.
He uses the crap out of them.
it'll be good.
Oh, that is a good pun. Trademark. Trademark. I
love
freaking
it.
love it. Okay. Another question I
'Kay.
just thought of. What has been your favorite characteristic or thing that you've loved him watching him grow this?
Mm. Which one? Watching him, he's very hard on himself. And when he goes to shows and he comes back like elated because of the response. I've loved watching that about him. But no, he'll sit and he'll sit and he'll talk to himself, just like kind of game planning, like what he's doing, and he's like, no, I can do this, I can do this. He's a very good self-motivator, and I love that about him. He'll sit in his office and he's got these big, huge whiteboards, and he's got his plans and his goals, and he's got this, and I love that. And I think that stems from what I loved about him when I met him, is the drive. But he is very self-motivated. Yeah, he needs a little motivation every once in a while, but we all do.
Yeah.
But he has a certain drive about him that not many people have. And you need that as an entrepreneur. You need to be able to say, no, like I can do this. He's a good decision maker. He knows how to get shit done.
Yeah.
And I love that. I've loved watching him. He's the last two companies that he's worked for were both like marketing, right? And products. And he's always had a desire to do something for himself. And seeing that kind of come full circle, it is exhilarating for me to see him, even though it's hard. And there's a lot of long nights and long weeks and no sleep and yeah. But I've loved watching him create this brand, not just a product, but a brand.
Yeah.
It's been really fun.
Well, I'll say this. Not only are you just like the funnest personality, and I consider you a really good friend, even though we never get to see each other.
I know. We try.
I think it says a lot on your character to be that support, not only for him, but for your kiddos. Like, I think it's a really good example, at least for me, on what like the sacrifice it takes like as a mom and the sacrifice it takes like
cry.
You're making me cry because I do look up to you. And I did only invite Tim because I wanted you to be here. But you're a really good example when it comes to like what it takes to be sacrificed as like a mom and a wife and that support system. And though Klean Freak is his brand and he did start it, I think there's a lot of you in there as well. And so
thank you.
I'm excited to watch your guys' journey. And I know you guys put so much into it, and it's very motivating and it's very exciting. And I love following you and calling you guys friends. So
well, we love you so much.
Well, I'm honored that you could be here, and I'm sure we'll have you on another time after
Always.
the old shit goes. Okay. After you guys do the old shit
once we figure it out.
If I can even speak, old shit goals. After you guys do those, we'll have you back on.
Okay. I love it. Thanks for having us. Yeah.
Okay.